Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and this reading is for Saturday, February 13th. Let's see what we have. So we have the Wheel of Fortune reversed, and our theme is the Eight of Swords, and flanked by, the Magician. Okay, great. So with the Eight of Swords as the theme, well, we're in that realm of feeling a little restricted at the least, and maybe even kind of trapped. It can be challenging because this card, and please know that when I use certain words, many times, many words, when I use any word that has anything to do with, negative creation, or being in some type of like negative pleasure where you're kind of trapped and stuck in your own little self-created prison, which is the way I see this card. Please know that I'm speaking to something that is not really who we truly are. I'm speaking to what's a word? I don't know, like an aberration, like a distortion, to just a part of our unconscious material that we have a very good reason, to have a false belief, because it's something we've experienced in the past. And so we think, and especially when it's happened over and over and over again, we think, oh, this is just the way things are, All men cheat, let's see, all women are stupid, all women are angry, we have prejudices against people and their hair color, dogs, their color of their fur, just ridiculous things. But because things happen to us in either a past lifetime or repeatedly, in our childhood in this lifetime. So when we're in that, what we're tasked to do, that's hard to say, T-A-S-K-E-D is what I'm trying to say. What our task is, basically, is to go inside and see how do we get caught up? You can see her hands are tied, she's blindfolded, but then again, she's looking up and outside for the guidance. She's not looking inside. And this is where we can get into victim consciousness. If we think everything's happening to us from the outside, because other people have control over us, because that's the way it was in the past, then we stay stuck in this vicious circle. And that can feel very, very victimizing. It's a very dualistic place because you're literally like torn in two. In any vicious circle that we're in, when repetitive patterns, repetitive negativity keeps coming into your life, you're the only one that can break the pattern. You're the only one that can go inside and figure out, where did this come from? What is the origin? Where have I colluded with the negativity? Where do I believe in this reality that keeps happening? And you can look to things in the world right now. I mean, today is February 11th, and I'm reading this. I always do a couple days early in case my internet goes down and to accommodate people, in other parts of the world. But we're in, I think, day 3 of the, Trump conviction trial. And we're seeing negativity play out in front of us, like right before our eyes. And what happened in the past, it's all been brought back together in a way that we can see what actually happened. So if we can use that same principle as to go back in the past and try and track the details and figure out what actually happened, then we can really get somewhere. We can figure it out. And on another level, so that's just speaking to it on one level, on another level, Just because we're going through a time in history where we are witnessing mass levels of corruption, that doesn't mean that it's getting worse, because the corruption was always there. We have to remember that in many countries, and USA is no different, there was slavery that was legal. The difference is now things aren't legal. When Hitler was in power, it was legal. It's not anymore. Genocide is not legal, except in very few countries, and they are fighting that. So, but on another level, if we want to go a level deeper, that I think you would want to hear about, is that just because we're witnessing something happening that's negative, but we're also witnessing, justice, the possibility for justice, at least the truth will be out there. Some people might go in their brain, and this is the way our ego works, because we're trying to make sense of things. When we're in the realm of swords, it's our minds, it's our thoughts, it's the way we process information. And when we're in, like victim consciousness, we're projecting our reality out onto the outer world, and then we get caught up in that alternate reality, which is not, you have to bring it home to work on it. So in the alternate reality that we're living in, or living through, not living in, but living through, observing at this point in time in our history, we're seeing great distortion and corruption playing out. But if it's not directly affecting you in your life, of course the pandemic is. We're all having to wear masks. We're all having to wear goggles or face shields, maybe both. Maybe feeling like you go out in a hazmat suit. And if you're a care person, anyone giving care, or a nurse or firefighter, people working in any healthcare profession, frontline workers, in the grocery stores, my heart goes out to you. And we're living through something that, humanity's trying to heal. So, but to get caught up in thinking that you have a role in that, or the corruption that's happening, that there must be something wrong with me because I'm living through this at this time. No, don't go there. Unless it's affected your life. But if it has to that type of degree, I don't think that you would be watching my channel, honestly, because you would be more like a Trump supporter who was actually at the Capitol riots and maybe had your cell phone, taken by the FBI, and that's where they've gotten all the footage, or lots of the footage. So, because what we're going through are warring times. We are going through a split in consciousness where, some people believe that they have to use violence. But those of us who are wiser know we use our vote and we use our voice. And we might protest peacefully, but we're never going to be violent about it. We don't want other people to be hurt or die. So the fact that your own personal life is not directly affected by the atrocities of Donald John Trump, you can pat yourself on the back for that. And that's where you have to be careful about getting into like this victim consciousness just because things in the outer world are going crazy. Just things are healing. Things are coming up for healing. And things have been up for healing for the last 4 years, and it may take us another 4 years to bring things together. So, so just be very careful with this card when you're searching for your own inner distortions, to not take it personally. It's not really who you are, but we do have to work on any false belief that we have, because a false belief can turn into a self-created prison. It can turn into a paradigm where it's this self-perpetuating, like, negative circle. And the only way to break through is to know that your soul substance and the world and your destiny can turn at any given time. You're the one with your consciousness that turns the wheel of reality in your life. And if you give that away to someone else, or you give that away to the past, the pains of the past, if you stay stuck in the pains of the past for too long, but you have to process the feelings, you do have to grieve, you do have to do the work, you do have to question the false beliefs. That turns everything around when you do that, and then you are on top of the wheel when it comes to creating your own reality, because that's what this card is about. This card is about creating your own fate. And, sometimes we're kind of sideways, and we're looking at, oh, shoot, something's off. I don't know what it is, but I don't feel good today. I haven't yet made the decision to feel good. Maybe there's some life force that's gone kind of sideways and stagnant, and you just need to get in touch with, sometimes for me, it's like I have to get in touch with what really pisses me off. Right? Which is what got me doing political videos, is because I couldn't stand just sitting by watching. When I knew the truth, I couldn't sit by and watch anymore. I needed to talk about it. I needed to have someone to share it with. So that's why I added that into my channel. So, back to, when we're sideways, sometimes it's, actually, any time that we're feeling stagnant, there are feelings underneath. And you have to ask yourself, what is it that you really want? And get up and move around. That movement helps. Screaming into a pillow helps if it's anger. If you're really angry and you can't get underneath it to find the pain, it helps to just keep working at it. And then other times, it's healthy anger. It's healthy anger. And that means to do something with it, to use that life force to create something with it, or to make a difference. So when we're upside down in this place, this is a form of victim consciousness, as is this card. But here we have the Magician showing us we can create our own reality. We have all the tools that we need, and we are infinitely gifted. And the infinite wisdom of the universe, the cosmic intelligence of the universe that we have to surrender to, because you have to remember, we're on the Earth spinning at 67,000 miles per hour, rotating this way. All the while we're in a galaxy that's rotating this way, or this way, whichever way, I don't know, I don't know. I don't know. But what's happening is that we're not falling off. We don't fall off. We're protected. We don't even have, meteors have created, craters in the ground, which turn into wonderful lakes and different beauty, on the earth. But a lot of that happened before we were, here in in a new level of humanity. Of course, that's how we lost the dinosaurs, but Earth was prepared and created for us to live on, because it's a school, because it's a dualistic experience for us to, get in touch with what's right in our face. And the challenging thing, the biggest challenging thing, is that we are unitive beings. We come from wholeness. We come from the beauty of the universe that is 100% love and bliss, where you can't even have a negative thought. Imagine that. And then here we are on Earth to work on this one little soul fragment, this one little piece of consciousness where we got lost, where we forgot who we truly are. And we agree to temporarily forget who we truly are in each lifetime, so that we can tease out that fragment and work on it. So this is the fragment. This is the fragment of false belief that we have chosen to work on whenever we're in these places, in these splits where where we're spinning in duality. So we have to accept that we're on a planet of duality, but it's not who we truly are. And then we have this like spiritual soul memory where you know, in the spirit world, in the highest levels of the spirit world from which you came, you can remember thinking and feeling something, and then bam, you created it. I mean, it was just right there in your experience. But here on Earth, it's not that way. You know, we have to do a lot of work to bring it out. So there's some levels of what you could call hardship on Earth, just because it's dualistic. So my prayer for all of us is that we don't take things so personally. You know, we just don't take it so personally when our world seems to be upside down, because it's temporary. It's not really a big deal. If you're feeling like you're stuck in a rut, if there's been a setback, if there's been a delay, just go inside and don't beat yourself up. Do not judge yourself about it at all, except ask for, what is a false belief? And then once you figure out what that is, and you might not get the answer right away. I mean, of course, it can take a long time, but you have to ask, and you have to drop it into dream time, and you have to be willing to meditate on it. If you're just going to rush around in your life and not take 5 minutes a day to try to figure out what's going on, you're not going to get what you want. Well, you're going to get it the hard way is the thing, and I don't want anybody to go through that. So opening up to, you find the lie, you find the false belief, and then you turn it around, right? And then once you've turned it around, you begin the process of surrendering it up to the divine mind and allowing the cosmic intelligence of the universe to help you heal it. But first we have to identify it, but we don't want to identify with it. That's the key. So, going within to figure out where we're upside down is the key. And to, you know, mark the pattern, figure out the pattern, track the pattern, and then work to turn it around. Because the magician is so beautiful for getting inside of anything that you want to manifest, and it's great for, you know, developing something new and being in your leadership. I mean, you can see the yellow up here. There's a lot of leadership qualities within this card. And the Wheel of Fortune, when it's straight up, because we can turn things around, we have that power. This card is all about a turning point, and it can be, you know, positive karma and your good fortune that you create. I don't necessarily tend to believe in good or bad fortune and good or bad luck. I just feel like we create our own reality. So whatever it is that you want to create, be happy about it. You know, take a risk. I always look at the little dice that remind me, you know, take a risk. Go for what you want. Look how happy she is. What would it feel like to be on top of your world? Right? Because the only thing that we can control is, and we can't even control all of it. The only thing we can control is, you know, how we respond to life, and what's going on in our own world. We have quite a bit of control over our own world and our own reality. So, okay, well, that's it. That's all I have to say about this one, and I'll be back soon. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to let you guys know I'm going to be with Debbie on her channel, Freebird Spirit, for Halloween. It's 11:11, I think it's Mountain Standard Time, that she does every Sunday, and she's asked me to be with her this Sunday. So if you want to join us and get in there early, get your question in. We'll try to answer as many questions as we can. They won't be political. They're intuitive little mini readings. And I posted a link to, well, actually, I need to put the actual link to her channel. If you're not already one of her subscribers, please subscribe. It's Freebird Spirit Tarot. And but I did post it in the community section, so I'll remember to go back in there and add the link to her channel, because I forgot that this morning. So, okay, well that's it. Thanks, you guys. Bye.